What's up, y'all? So, I've been getting a lot of questions on how I opened up my own salon at the age of 23. So, I've tried to make this video so many times. Like, I really wanted to get dolled up, put my lashes on, and everything. But this has been long awaited. So, you just finna get what you get. But let's just get right into it. I'm about to introduce myself. My name is Crystal Puckett, Crystal Unique Puckett to be exact. Um, my business name is Unique Techniques, and a lot of people they do choose their business name from their real name. I chose Unique Techniques because when I was in beauty school, I was doing different techniques. When I was in beauty school, I was doing things different from other people. And when you're in beauty school, I know the one that I went to, it's a waiver that the clients have to sign because students are still learning. So if your hair doesn't come out how you want to, or if something goes wrong, unless it's something super drastic, you can't really put the students at fault. So I was trying out different things I was seeing online. I was trying out different techniques. I was asking people on Facebook, who deals with this, who has this issue, and I would have them come in and I would test those theories out on their head. And 99.9% of the time it would work because they saw a difference when they was coming to the school and I would do the treatments on their hair. So they would also listen to my aftercare tips in between the time. And of course the school prices was cheap, so they was continuing to come back. So I had continuous practice. I always tell people, especially people that are in beauty school, treat those clients like they are guinea pigs. The prices was cheaper when I was there, but now, yeah, them prices is ridiculous. But and they do some of the things that I was implementing while I was there, but they don't offer the supplies. Like if you want an aloe vera steam treatment, you can't really get the steam, but you have to bring your own aloe vera plant. But it's an upcharge. So I would have them bring their own plant, but it was still like $10, $15, and now they got to bring their own plant, and it's $30 or $35. So it's just too much. But yeah, I came up with the name when I was in beauty school, just based off the fact I was doing things differently from other people, and other people also brought that to my attention. They would ask, well, why do you choose to do this step instead of that step? Or, why do you use that brush instead of that brush? Just different little things. And when I was in high school, I was making my own hair care products. And I already had a YouTube. Like, if y'all some OGs, y'all remember the name of my old YouTube was Made Unique. Because I'm like, I'm made unique, And then my products was made unique. So why not go with that name? So I still have that name that is trademarked. You cannot get that. And Unique Techniques is trademarked, so don't even with that. But anyways, I still use that name for my products and for my wig collection because I make that. I'm thinking of changing the name on my flat irons from Unique Techniques to Made Unique as well. But yeah, that's a little bit of backstory about my business. Me, I have a business and technology degree, and I also have my cosmetology license. I just feel like I'm so on the spot. I can't really think of anything else to just other, business wise to say about myself. Like I dib and dab in a lot of different things, but I don't really want to make this video too long. I want to just really focus on what the business, I want to focus on what the video is actually about, which is how I opened up my salon. So I opened up my salon after my 23rd birthday. My birthday was July the 3rd. I got the place around the end of July. I was working, and my official grand opening was September the 1st. But I was already taking in clients because I was still at another salon. So I was only at that salon in the end for about 2 weeks while I still had this place, and I was trying to make sure that I had the proper licensing and I had the proper equipment, I guess you could say, the bowl, so I can wash clients hair and like the chair and stuff. So a lot of things was not set into place, a lot of stuff was not done. What I regret was not ordering everything at once. I still had a 9 to 5 mindset. I was ordering things weekly and I was doing one room at a time. I wish I would have bought everything, ordered everything at the same time, so it all would have been here. So I did the restroom first. Then I did the lobby. I had to wait like a while because some of the stuff I ordered was wrong. I had to send it back, wait for that to come. So next I was working on the hair room. So I did this whole place by myself, y'all, except of course the wash bowl, and my father hung up my mirror and shelves and my TV. So I had to wait till my father had, his schedule in order so he could come over here and hang that up. Then there was a whole bunch of other stuff with the wash bowl that was just going wrong. I had to stop. I could have had the wash bowl done in one day, but like my landlord made me stop working on it. It was a lot of confusion, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm not finna pay for another week at this shop. Like I already told her I was gonna be gone by this date, and I don't really like having to take my word back. So yeah, but it all ended up working out, and I had to take clients before my grand opening because, like I said, I was gone out of this shop. I didn't want to keep paying like booth rent there when I have a place. So what else? Damn, I've been talking for 10 minutes. But anyways, so yeah, that's how that was. That's a little introduction about the author, breakdown steps, who are you? So after all of that, yes, I would say order everything all at once, y'all. Like, I had to wait a few days, but it really didn't take me long to finish the shop. It's still a few things that I'm still adding. It's never going to be done. Like, it's never going to be done. Next year, hopefully, I'm really pushing to work harder, add extra clients to my roster, add more skills under my belt, because next year I want to move to a bigger location and hopefully a permanent location, because it's not good to keep changing your location. Because some clients, they might lose contact. Like, what if they get a different number? Some clients don't have social media, so they can always stay connected to you through social media. But what if they change their number, change their email, so they're not on your SMS list or your email list to keep updated? All they would have is Google, if they even use Google. So hopefully next year I will be where I want to be, so I can move to a bigger and a better location. So I don't know if this was even made obvious, but this video is going to be broken up into parts. So let me turn this up. But this video is definitely going to be broken up into parts. So let's break down a few things. When you are looking for a salon, a storefront, even a warehouse, you need to, I don't know what you need to do. Okay, so when you are looking for a new location, whether it's a salon, a storefront, or a warehouse, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. The number one thing that you need to keep in mind is a location. Location, location, location. Location can make or break you. Even if you do have like a big clientele or a big customer base, location is still important. Unless you aren't taking any more clients, any more customers, and you just know, okay, these people are always going to come. But I still feel like you need to pick out your location carefully. So, two things to consider with the location. Well, there are more than two things. Let's just say the where. Of course, it's location. But either you want to be on a busy street or you want to be on Main Street. So busy street is the street that everybody knows, everybody goes on that street because a lot of the big businesses are on that street. And busy street is 9 times out of 10 the street that's in the middle of town. So of course, like most of the businesses are going to be on that street. So how to identify a busy street if you don't exactly know? If what I just said isn't really giving you much on how to classify busy street. Your busy street is going to have a few banks, it's going to have a few gas stations, it's going to have a ton of food places, and a ton of shopping centers. That's how you identify busy street. So when you're looking into it, busy street is definitely going to give you like the attention. You're going to be seen by a lot of people. You might be next to a bank. You might be next to like a popular food place. You're going to be seen. So a lot of the landlords on busy street, they factor in that decision within their cost. So you might be paying $1,000 for like 500 or 800 square feet. Now, if you like a one and done type of business, like if you only do hair, I don't only do hair. I do waxes, I do lashes, I do facials, I take pictures, I make wigs, so that would not be enough space for all that I do. And 9 times out of 10, busy street won't have. If you're looking more into suites or office spaces, a lot of those businesses on busy street don't have that option. A lot of them are open space. I thought somebody was outside. But a lot of them don't have that option. A lot of them have open space, like washateers or dry cleaners. They may have a lobby, and then once you get through the lobby, it's like a big old open space. So that would be good for a clothing store or something like that. You might have to go in and add your own walls. And that's just, that's more money that you got to spend. So that might not be what you're looking for or what you want. And if it does have, rooms, suites, or whatever you want to call them, it's going to be more. Busy street is always going to cost more. So, yeah. Take that into consideration. Main Street. Oh, I just told y'all that backwards. I really just told y'all that backwards. That's Main Street. I am so sorry. I'm not even finna repeat what I said. So, that's Main Street. Busy Street is like a tunnel street. Like, you have to drive on that street to get to the most popular areas in town. It doesn't necessarily have a lot of businesses or anything on that street, but you need to use that street as a tunnel to get to most of the other popular areas in town. So busy street is going to be a little bit cheaper. You shouldn't really necessarily let cost make your decision unless it's within your budget. We're going to talk about that later. But Um, yeah, Busy Street is gonna be one of those streets. I go more into depth about this inside my ebook, Brand New You, but definitely Busy Street is also a good option. Busy and main streets are going to be your best option because they're going to be easy to access. They're well-known areas. You don't want your clients or your customers like driving around like, oh, where is it? Where is it? And another thing about that, you need to make sure that you set yourself apart as best as you can, because some landlords don't really let you decorate the outside like how you may want to. But if you can have a sign outside your building, hopefully they let you put a sign outside your building, because I don't get those places that like everything to be uniformed. I hate going to a neighborhood and every house looks the same. Like, I gotta just hope everybody ain't got their car inside the garage, because I be so confused. But make sure you have a sign outside your building to where people can know where you are, because you don't want your clients, your customers driving by and they're running circles because they don't know which one is yours. They're too afraid to pull into the parking lot because they might be wrong, or you might be potential clientele and it's somebody going to the bank that's next to you and they just think that the building next to them is unoccupied. What if they're going to cash their check and they want to treat themselves that day, and you have a salon? They can get their nails done, they can get their hair done, they can buy some hair. If you got a boutique, they can buy some clothes. Like, I feel like that's a perfect spot, like, to be right next to a bank. People going in all the time, cashing checks, taking out money. You need to be getting their money. But anyways, I just feel like that's a perfect spot. But make sure you are in a good location. You need to be seen. It doesn't matter if you already have your set clientele. Don't put your business in the middle of nowhere. And if it is a busy area or a main street, I know like in bigger cities, sometimes the way the streets are made, it's hard for some people to get over onto the next side. And not just it being busy, sometimes that street may have multiple lanes. That street may have a roundabout. I hate roundabouts. But you want your business to be easily accessible as possible. You don't want them to have any issues. Make sure your business is seen. People know what it is. Like, we need these customers to know what we are. Okay, so when I was looking for my place, I looked on busy streets, I looked on main streets, and I also looked at connector streets. I'm making all these names up. But I also looked at connector streets. So connector streets are basically like streets that lead to busy streets. So connector streets lead to busy streets lead to main streets. It's all like a whole little channel going on. So like the connector streets is also close to the busy streets. They have the necessary businesses like the apartments and like the, can't really think, like the what you call it, family places, like for kid activities and stuff like that. Kids have parents. Parents need their hair done. They need self-care days. Like, I was just thinking about that, like the more smaller businesses, because a lot of people still go to small businesses. So I was looking at one place that was on a connector street. It was $1,000 a month. I can afford $1,000 a month, but that's just the rent. So let's just say your budget is $1,000 a month. Don't go get a place that's $1,000 a month. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're gonna have rent, you're gonna have electricity. They may ask you to pay for water and sewage, trash pickup. Then you got to think about you buy monthly supplies every month, and not just the monthly supplies for your products and stuff, which you're going to flip and make your money back from, so that doesn't really count. I'm talking about you need tissue for the bathroom, you need trash bags, you need cleaning products, like you need the stuff that you don't make money from, that just is disposable, and you got to keep rebuying it. Like I need to keep rebuying the sheets that I put on the bed when I wax people. I need to keep buying wax sticks. Even though I'm making money during that sense, like I still need to buy those, because it may be a time where somebody cancels on me and I didn't make no money. Or it may be a time where I get sick, and you can't just be sick, put a mask on, and come to work now. Like people are dying now when they get sick. So I gotta sit out. I done missed out on X amount of dollars. So you gotta think about stuff like that. But so I was like, okay, because I wanted my place to be super nice and super bougie. So I have to worry about rent, I have to worry about Wi-Fi, I have to worry about wine, snacks, the trash bags, the cleaning products, like all this other stuff. I have a security system. I pay like for monthly storage for that. It's a lot more other stuff that I pay for. But if I would have went with the place that was $1,000 like straight off bat a month, I would be spending probably like $1,500 a month. And at the time, that's not what I wanted to spend. That's not what I wanted to just have come out of my bank account at the time. But now I'm in a place where I can offer like multiple services. There's plenty of other ways that I make money. And I'm just happy overall with my decision, because I wasn't going to be able to do it at first. I was not going to be seeing that much of a profit, because not only think about, your rent and expenses at your shop, your salon, your store, your warehouse. You got to also take care of yourself, and you got to take care of home. So if you got a car note, you got car insurance, you got rent or mortgage, you got homeowners insurance if you do have a home, and then you got to think about your groceries. Like that's just, and I like to eat, so that's just too much. Then your self-care days, because you need to take care of yourself. Like that's not even going to be cut out of my budget. Like you just got to think about stuff like that. And like I said, you don't always want to factor in pricing in your budget, but sometimes you have to. Like you just have to. Okay, so that one, I hope I still got the video. And I thought the mic had cut off, but I hope I still got the video, and I will insert a clip of how that one looked. And then I went and I saw another one that was on another connected street, and it was within my price, but it wasn't giving what I wanted. Like it was connected to two other buildings. Okay, it was a suite within itself, and it had suites on the inside. So it had a connecting door to two suites on the opposite side of me. And I just didn't like that. Like I just wouldn't trust it, even though he said, you can lock the door. I ain't trust it. Then it had carpet in the hallway, but it had hardwood floors everywhere else. That was what was confusing me. And it had a sink in the hallway, and I'm like, why I got a sink in the hallway? But I wanted a nail tech, so I was like, when you go to the nail salon, and after a point they tell you go wash your hands, so that would have been convenient for him or her if someone else was using the restroom. But it was just a lot of things that was off about it. And then one of the suites had storage space in the middle, but it's like, who gonna get this storage space? Like it was just but it had a nice big parking lot, and that's what I wanted. But I just had to say no to that. And then we can double back to the one that was $1,000 a month. That one, it had big rooms. I really liked it. It had big rooms. The storage space was, it was nothing. Like, I have a storage closet here, and I store like all my shipping supplies, my extra inventory, and like decorations and all that stuff on one side. And I have a trash can and like the supplies. Like, I have a vacuum for vacuuming up hair, because you can't really get everything all at once. Broom, mop, all that other stuff. And then I have supplies like the cleaning supplies and extra tools or whatever that may be needed. All I was gonna be able to have in that storage closet, because it was like this wide. Like, as soon as you walk in, you're gonna be facing the wall. So I wouldn't even call it a storage closet. I would call it a command closet, because that's where it had the wires and stuff at. So, but it was really nice. It had a kitchenette in the hallway. Don't really know how I felt about that exactly, but it was also connected to another suite. So that was a no. And the parking lot was extremely small. Like, literally, I'm connected to this other person. Nobody could park in front of the building because it only had like 4 parking spots. So that means I can only have one client at a time. And I wanted somebody else to rent out the other room. So it wasn't enough space. So they got 2 parking spaces and I got 2 parking spaces. Like, it wasn't gonna work out. And then I was thinking about my grand opening, and then it was like an act. It was cute though. I really liked it, but it just had way too many cons. Like, but the actual building, loved it. Just can't do it. So then it was another place. It was on Main Street, actually. Like, I was shocked. It had 7 suites. And it really had 6, because on the phone he was talking to me and he was like, it got 6 rooms, a conference room, a break room, a storage room, and 2 restrooms and a lobby. What really got me with that place was the 2 restrooms, because it can, especially having all those suites and it gets so busy and it's one restroom. I really wanted a place with 2 restrooms so bad, because I remember being at the shop and we would all, have our clients and stuff like that. We gotta wait. It would just be so much. So I really liked it. It was $1,500 a month. I could have made that place work. I could have turned the conference room, because the conference room was big. I could have just put a wall up in the conference room and had one side for hair and the other side for my esthetician stuff. And I could have had the other side for my esthetician stuff. And then the break room is much needed, because you be at the shop for so long. Like, you want food, you want snacks and stuff. And then I could have turned one of the other rooms into a washroom. And so what we down to, like 5 extra rooms? Yeah. And I could have rented out those other 5 rooms. But at the same time, you want to get a place that you can afford by yourself. That was my main thing just starting out. A lot of people be like, go big or go home. I'm not trying to go big, because I might have to go home. No. So it's not really that many people in the city, in my city, that are licensed. And if they are, they rather do their own thing, which I don't blame them, because people are weird. But if I was to do that, I could have afforded that place, plus the utilities, plus like all the amenities that I would have wanted, because it was only $1,500 a month. and the other expenses probably would have been like 5 to 800. I could have spent it and had some change left over from me renting out those rooms to people. But I decided to go with the smarter move and just stick to something that I know that I can afford the rent by myself, and something that was more smaller. Plus, I have a dream of like getting my own shop. Like, I mean, I have my own shop right now, but once I get done with this, I want to have my own shop where I'm like fully in control. Right now, I really don't want to, well, of course, you're going to be responsible. It's your place, but I really don't want to say, yeah, like she's my employee. Like, I want whoever rents from me to have their own mind, their own vision, do their own thing. Damn, I don't even remember where I stopped talking it. But yeah, when you do booth rent, I feel like you are your own independent contractor. Like, that's what you are. You have full control on how you want to do your clients, when you want to take clients, like what products you want to do. I don't want to do that right now. I do want to have, like, when I get my bigger shop, of course I want to have more of a say so, because it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, my name's going to be on it, and I'm just going to provide everything. Because when you do commission based, the person that's over it, in my opinion, I don't know if this is true, but in my opinion, they're supposed to supply, everything, like your tools, the products, and like all this other stuff. But that's gonna be way further down in the future for me. But yeah, let's see. So we talked about location. I am on a busy street next to a main street, like literally. I'm right next to a highway. So like the street over is on a highway. And this is a busy street because it has like a lot of shopping places. I'm really surrounded by like a lot of Monroe city official businesses. So it's really quiet. Like, I like it. And it's a few like hospitals, well, not hospitals, but rehabs over here. And the beauty school is like 2 blocks away from me. So yeah, I'm on a busy street next to a main street. Um, so, and then another thing, I mentioned this earlier, when you are looking for a place, parking is important. Like I said, at the other place, they only have 4 parking spots, and it would have been cool if it was just me, but I had to share it with another business. So that definitely was not going to work. So make sure when you're looking for a place, it also has ample parking, because you don't want to limit, the amount of customers or clients that you can take in. And what if they still want to come to you and they park in your neighbor's parking lot? Because it was someone else's that had a parking lot that was bigger. It was separated by grass. But what if they get ticketed for parking there? So, and I suggest free parking, because I hate places where I gotta go and I gotta pay for parking. Like, I just hate it. Another thing you want to consider: main streets and busy streets and connector streets can be in the ghetto. So make sure you do your research, because safety is important. You do not want to be in an unsafe neighborhood and you just get that record for, oh, Crystal Salon is in the ghetto. Like, you gotta go at a certain amount of time. You gotta watch your back, look over your shoulders. That's gonna limit how many people want to come to you. And then it's like you don't want that certain type of clientele or customer base that's into that type of stuff. Like, well, personally, I don't. And I want my clients to feel safe and my customers to feel safe when they book with me, when they shop with me, because it's an experience. Like, I'm giving rich and luxury, not ghetto. I'm just saying, I'm not giving it. I don't want to give that. Give somebody else to do it. But if you do so happen to choose a place that's in the ghetto or near the ghetto, you most definitely need some things in place. You need a security system or a security team or both. You need to get an alarm to protect your inventory, your stuff. Even if you have insurance, you need insurance anyway. Please get business insurance. A lot of people don't really go for insurance. They say it's a scam. I mean, to me, like, car insurance and house insurance is kind of like that, because, well, I really don't know nothing about house insurance, but car insurance, if I get into an accident, why I still need to pay a little bit of money on it when I haven't had an accident in 5 years and I've been paying for the insurance for 5 years? Like, it ain't enough money to cover this. So I get what some people say with with insurance, period. But what I've been doing my research on with business insurance, it is very beneficial. It can also cover your money. Like, if you used to get robbed, it can cover your money. Depending on which company you choose for it and which plan, it could cover all of it. It could cover a percentage of it. If you get sick and you list yourself as an employee, you can pay yourself out of that. Like, so that's very, very, very beneficial. If things are stolen, that can be covered. Like, you ever worked at a place and like something was stolen and they send it to claims and claims write off the little ticket, they got their money back for that. So yeah, so that's a part of security. Insurance is a part of security. So you definitely want to look into that, getting security cameras, a security team. Let's hope it's not this serious, like, to where you actually need like a security bodyguard. Like, this, you definitely in the trenches. Like, if you actually need a physical person there to protect your business and your customers, you don't want your customers to walk out the store and get robbed. Like, come on now, like, be for real. Like, you're gonna need like certain hours. I suggest certain hours. After sundown, shut it down, close it up. Certain rules, like, a lot of businesses, you can't wear hoods when you're in the store. They want to be able to see you on the camera. You can't dress a certain way. Of course, you have to carry yourself a certain way. Like, I feel like the behavior rules are a given when you go to any place. You should always be respectful when you go to anyone's place of business. But a lot of people, they don't really do that. So you definitely need to set certain rules into place. You also want to place certain signs outside: no loitering, protected by whatever security system you have. I doubt they pay attention to that, but but you do want to have certain signs outside indicating, you mean business, even though you are in the type of neighborhood that you are in. So I feel like I've told y'all way more than enough in this video, but we're gonna do a quick location checklist. Let's get into it. So, the actual location, you want to have a checklist for your location, your salon, period. when you're looking for, a building. So the actual location, what side of town you're gonna be on? Main Street, busy street, a connector street, or the middle of nowhere? Don't put yourself in the middle of nowhere. Crime rate, the size of the building, y'all. The size of the building is also so important, like I was talking about. So you may see 1,000 square feet and you're like, ooh, that's a lot of space. You have to think about it. Okay, if you do hair like how I do hair, but I do way more than hair. But anyways, so if I only did hair, depending on, the different things that I'm into and all that, like making wigs or like just different things, I could make that work. But if you wanted to design your layout way different, like if you wanted a lobby and you wanted a space to do wigs and you wanted a space only for wig installs, a space for only for natural hair, if you wanted a couch, a whole little setup, the 9 yards, 1,000 square feet may not be enough for you. So when you go into these places, walk in and visualize. A lot of people can't walk into a place and visualize, oh, I could put my couch right here, my sign right here, my register right here, my certificates here. A lot of people see a blank canvas and all they see is a blank canvas. So you really need to go into these places with a mindset, have a checklist, go ahead and make a blueprint of how you want your business to look, how you want your business to be, because you're going to need that. You need to sit down and figure out like how you want your business to be. You have to turn into a whole architect and just lay out, because I'm very creative. So I really did all of this in my head. But for some people, they may have to actually draw it out to see it. But you can get somebody to help you. But if you do, make sure you express your vision very vividly, because sometimes people just take a little bit of what they hear and they run with it, and once they get done, you may not like it. And you don't want that, because that takes up too much time, too much energy. You have to snatch all it down and just start over from scratch, and ain't nobody got time for that. Like, take it from my perspective, from me ordering stuff weekly, like I was working a 9 to 5. Like, how I get money is when I get up and I work. Like, I don't have an automatic direct deposit coming. Like, if I don't work, I don't get paid. So, and then I had the funding, which that was even more stupid, y'all. Like, I had the funding and was still ordering weekly. But yeah, bills to pay. Like, you got to think, okay, do I only have to pay rent? Because some places that I looked at, I did only have to pay rent. Do you only have to pay rent, water, electric, gas, trash, sewer? Like, take all this into account, because that's going to fit into your budget. And then the amenities. So when you, like, I wanted 2 restrooms, but I had to break the deal on that one, because this place, it did have everything else that I wanted and everything else that I needed. But this place did have everything that I wanted and everything else that I needed, but it only had 1 restroom. So this place is on a busy street. I got my sign outside. People know that I'm here. I'm next to other businesses. I get walk-ins all the time. It's easy accessible. It has the amount of rooms, the amount of space that I need. It's just, it didn't have 2 restrooms. Like, so that was not I just had to settle for that. But make a list of all the amenities that you want. Like, how many rooms you want, if you do want rooms. How much space you want, if you want to open floor plan. If you have like a clothing store, 9 times out of 10 you want to open floor plan. So just think about how much space you actually want. And then how many restrooms? Do they offer Wi-Fi? Do you have to offer Wi-Fi? Do they have a dumpster, or do they have like trash pickup? Like, that's also an amenity as well. Here we need our own trash cans, and trash pickup is every Monday. But they also have some suites across the street, and they have their own dumpster. I wish we had a dumpster, especially when you first move in. You're going to have like a lot of big boxes, a lot of big things. So I had to take like all of my stuff over across the street to the dumpster. So yeah. The amount of creative... I guess I'm tired of talking, y'all. But the amount of creative control, which is the freedom to decorate and alter the building as you see fit. So ask your landlord, like, what can I do to the build? Like, if you have an idea that you want to just knock all the walls down, ask them, can you knock all the walls down? Or can I paint? Can I hang things? Because a lot of landlords don't want you putting holes in the wall. They don't want you painting. Like, some landlords are really, really strict. And then ask for holidays. Every holiday, I like to decorate outside. That also can bring you a lot of attention to your business. When people pass by and it's Halloween, like, I had a whole crime scene outside for Halloween. I had a lot of people coming in just based off the fact that I had the decorations, because they was thinking something was going on. Wasn't nothing going on. Like, I just was decorating for the holidays. But on Halloween day, I did a trick-or-treat drive. So yeah. But, people are going to see it decorated. They're going to be nice. They're going to be nosy. Get to talking it up. Have business cards. Like, give them a tour of your place, especially if you decorate it really well. Then people are going to, be intrigued. They're going to come, like, book appointments or shop because they like what's going on. The amount of responsibility versus the landlord. This is a big one. Especially, okay, when I put that on the checklist, when I put that on the checklist, mainly what was on my mind was, okay, what do you have to do? What do I have to do? Let me turn my sound off. So, I only pay for electricity. She pays for water, sewer, trash pickup. If something was to happen to the building itself, of course she would be liable. But some landlords make the tenants liable. When my vents are dirty, they come and clean it. When my toilet is clogged, they come and unclog it. There are other things that, you might need to take into consideration for your building. Like, if something was to happen, just make a whole little list. What are you curious about? And then my landlord, she walked through the lease with me, which I really liked. And that answered, like, a lot of my questions for me anyway. But make a checklist, not just for shopping for a new building, a new shop, a new store. Make a checklist for your landlord as well. Let me move my wig. But make a checklist for your landlord as well, because you want to know what they are responsible for and what you're responsible for. Like, that's very important to know, because you don't want to have too many responsibilities on yourself, especially if you're leasing a place. Now, if you're owning a place, or if you're paying mortgage, which is kind of the same, it's like you owning it. But if you're owning a place, it's totally different. Everything's going to be on you, which cannot be a bad thing. Like, a lot of people think about this all the time. Like, well, they're like, if I get a house, then I'm going to be responsible if something breaks. How these landlords are now, 9 times out of 10, you're already responsible because they take their time and do it. But would you rather be mad at yourself or be mad at somebody else? You got to weigh out the pros and the cons. Okay. The building structure. And what that means is like, what is the building made of? What is it shaped like? What's the foundation on it? How old is the building? Like stuff like that. And you also need to know these things for your business insurance, because they're going to ask you that, because that's also going to take into a factor like how much coverage they're going to help you with and how much your payment is going to be. But you really do want to know these things, because like a lot of these landlords, they're not getting their building like inspected frequently. Like they really just get the inside of the building inspected for occupancy, but the outside and the structure and all that, you might get into one of these buildings and one of your rooms could start sinking in because it's so old. It hasn't been restructured because it was built like in the 1800s, and it just been through and back. Like, but yeah, you really do want to know these things about your building. Price, of course, price. That goes back to budget. Your parking. You want to have ample amount of parking. You don't want to limit yourself to the amount of parking that you can have. Like, if you want to have certain events, like I want to have a lot of events at my shop, and the amount of parking that I have here now is a good amount of parking, and nobody is really here on the weekends and Mondays. So I mainly do my events on Sundays because I have the whole parking lot to myself. Like, really nobody is here on a Sunday but me. So I have the whole parking lot to myself. And each business over here, we already, well, except the businesses to the corner, but all of us, other businesses, we have like about 8 to 10 parking spots. I say 8. We all have 8 to 10 parking spots to ourselves. So just imagine like how much parking I have on Sundays when I have my events. And then there's plenty of other things you can put on your checklist to talk about. Like, feel free to add extra things. And but this was only part 1, y'all. Part 1 of how to open your own shop. I really just talked about location. I really only talked about location, budget, the size of your building, and the amount of responsibility versus you and the landlord. Like, it's so much more that I could say and I will say, but this video is going to be long. So I'm just going to leave this to a part 1. And I'll get back to y'all when I get part 2 ready. So thank y'all for tuning in to Uneke Speaks. This is going to be like something big. I'm going to cover new topics all the time. But right now, this is like a big topic I've been getting asked about, and I just want to make sure that I can go ahead and put that out for y'all. But thank you guys for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. How else am I going to know that y'all like these? But yeah.